island Jamaica, and I don't want to hesitate. But without hesitation, we're going to go across to our colleague, a friend, my brother. Yeah, Jeffrey Tavares. Good morning. How are you doing, Uncle Jeffrey?
Sorry, good morning.
I am doing tremendously well. You are looking so um I want to find I'm trying to find a very good adjective. I would say splendilocious, but that would probably a little bit too much. But you're putting on so much weight, I think you look fat delicious.
Lord, Emancipation Day to my friend.
Yes.
Today we celebrate Emancipation Day in our country. And other Jamaicans are
Ho-
saying, are we
Hold
truly
on, Jeffrey. I am getting a little distortion in your audio. I don't know if it is from my end, but
maybe it's from your end? I don't. Are you still hearing me?
I'm hearing you, but I was getting a little distortion, like
Are
some
you,
little.
are you still getting this discussion?
No, no, I'm not hearing it. No, it's going away.
Okay.
Good.
Yes. Um, it is Emancipation Day in Jamaica.
Yes.
A lot of Jamaicans are saying, are we truly emancipated, or maybe we're still wearing the shackles based on what is going on. I heard you giving some history about emancipation, and I want you to give our listening audience, you an audience, a little more about the history of emancipation in Jamaica. Our people are going through sometimes in our country that we wonder if the word emancipation mean anything to us. Huh?
Boy. It for me, we might find ourselves saying some things here, Jeffrey, that will definitely open a lot of can of worms, because being emancipated is definitely talking about a level of freedom and accessibility that we would now have after enslavement. But some of these things look like they are still happening under a different kind of enslavement. And to me, it more looked like a mental enslavement. And
Mm.
so the song that we started the program with earlier on, from the reggae icon Bob Marley, that speaks volume about emancipating ourselves from mental slavery. It seems like we are still struggling with that. Though the chains are off from the hands and the feet, the chain seems to have been um, secretly or unseemingly um, locked up around the minds.
Indeed, because when you have a country who is, in a sense, dictating to our people or dictating to individuals that they need to consult with the Governor General before they can leave the country. And I speak none other than Corporal James.
Okay, that situation,
That
yes.
situation there.
What's the reason behind that kind of dictator ship expression? You tell me, what's your thought on somebody being told that they cannot leave even where they are living to move to another address unless they are told, and you have to give like a 2 months or so um
Let,
information before leaving the country? You explain that to me, Jeffrey. You may have more
let me
explanation.
say something to you. When you have an outspoken Jamaican who will take on a government, whether the PNP or the JLP, and speak out for the fundamental rights of your brothers and sisters who you work with, it becomes a problem. The Police Federation, talking about emancipation, today's Emancipation Day, the Police Federation got the nod from the government to pay the back money, the overtime money that is owed to them from the government. The courts of Jamaica give them
Yes.
rights for them to pay. And because Corporal James is an outspoken individual, he went to a funeral. He went to a funeral of one of his colleagues. Okay? And when he went to the funeral, he decided to speak that if the hierarchy of the police federation do not pay the police officers, God help them at the end of the month.
Wow.
And because he made such utterance, the Minister of National Security see fit to send the Commissioner of Police, or Director Commissioner of Police, to send Corporal James a letter
Mm-hmm.
stating, I'm going to read the letter to you,
Yes.
stating that he needs to go on, in other words, that administration leave, in a sense, because of what he said.
Yes.
Now tell me something now. The Minister of National Security did something like that. Why didn't the Minister of National Security write a letter to the Prime Minister of Jamaica and to the Governor General of Everall Warmington describing a Jamaican citizen as dog, drunk, and barfly and chink?
Which is worst?
There you go. He did not do something like that. What he did was to take on Corporal James, who is not of the effluence of society, who
Mm.
refused to go and lick champagne glass with them, who refused to go in their circle of the Vumba and the Vumba bee. So because Corporal James refused to do something like that, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Minister of National Security, decided, okay, we're not clip your wing. But by clipping Corporal James' wing, the Minister of National Insecurity didn't realize that the people of Jamaica was going to take him on.
Okay.
And a letter that was written to Corporal James from the hierarchy of the police, in a certain part in the letter, it said, take further note that in keeping with the regulation 355 of the Police Service Regulation 1961, you are not to leave the island of Jamaica without permission from the Governor General of Jamaica.
Wow.
Now tell me something now. They need to tell us it's Emancipation Day today. They need to tell the people of Jamaica, are we truly emancipated? What are you going to tell our Jamaican citizens?
So, you're saying to me now, act like that is encroaching on one's freedom of speech, and
And
yet
what
we
are
are about
you
to
thinking?
celebrate freedom in its entirety on a day like today.
There you
So,
go. And one freedom, one movement free to move. In our constitution, it states that we're free to move. We
freedom
have,
of
we
movement.
have freedom of assembly. We have freedom of speech.
Yes.
So when they put something like that, and it said, any application to leave the island of Jamaica must be made to the superintendent of police in charge of the Kingston West Division, no later than 2 months
2 months in advance.
in advance, in keeping with the police or the criminal force order number 366, part 1, subsection 4, dated September 21st, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
It also said in, in further notice that in keeping with regulation 355 of the police service regulation of 1961, you are to give the superintendent of police, Kingston West Division, the address at which you can be located. You're also to provide a telephone number, email address, and the name of the next of kin.
He doesn't have any freedom at all.
He doesn't have
He,
any freedom.
he's still enchained, enslaved, and has lost a lot of his rights.
So you tell me now, The Prime Minister have the audacity to be given an Emancipation Day message in the Governor General when they have muzzled and put a shackled on a Jamaican citizen. Is this the Jamaica we're talking about? Emancipated from mental slavery? When this government, under the leadership of the most honorable Prime Minister, under the leadership of the Minister of National Security, under the leadership of the Commissioner of Police, has put a shackle on a Jamaican citizen. Is it that Corporal James committed treason to the country? Why you put him on such stranded and this regulation of 1961? How many years that was? How many decades that was?
So Jeffrey, let's look at the quote unquote violation here. Because if my memory sounding me right, you can correct me if I am off a tangent. If
Yeah.
my memory serve me right, he may have contravened a couple of code of conduct and regulation as it relates to the JCF.
Mm.
And one is um, seemingly disrespecting a rank and file, person in high authority as it relates to the 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 person in charge, yeah, the big
The
man,
Commissioner of Police.
yes, and also for him to make such blatant statement, he should have received the go ahead from um, somebody within the superior position, and those are probably two of the contravening act that I am remembering now.
Mhm.
So if he would have done that, what what would be the requisite um punishment, so to speak, if you could call it that? Is there something that could have been done apart from the interdiction?
Um, I don't have the Police Service Commission Act in front of me now,
Hmm.
but if he is speaking about a court order was handed down by the judiciary, by the Supreme Court of Jamaica,
Yes.
the government of Jamaica, advising them that they must pay the rank and file police officers or the police officers, the JCF,
Hmm.
their overtime money or their back money. If
Yes.
that was handed down to them, why should they be a problem? It should not be a problem at all. And because of what he said, it becomes a serious fundamental problem. And the time has come for us in this country to ask ourselves, are we truly independent? I think we're gonna have a live broadcast of Independence Day coming into us by one of our colleagues, Isis Miller.
Well, it's not coming in until later down, but we have online one
Mhm.
of our former colleague that wants to get in on the conversation because they are listening, and it kind of stimulate
Mhm.
the interest. And so we want to say good morning to the wackiest man on planet Earth, Mr. Dudley Thompson. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Nando and Erin. Good morning, Jeffrey Tavares.
Good morning, Mister. How you doing?
I'm here listening to you. And I'm good.
Good.
What do you think
And
about
I'm hearing
emancipation?
about letter. Like what?
When you
I was
heard
like, what
you said what? Why were you surprised when you heard that, Dudley?
about the restrictions being imposed about being imposed on the police officer and this Emancipation Day about 2 months in advance. If you want to leave the country, you can't leave unless the GG give him permission and it provides email address and next of kin contact. And I was like, This sound like him under total bondage. What about
Yes.
him? Is he emancipated?
Dudley,
You were listening to Jeffrey, man.
Yeah, man. I was like, what?
Oh, Jeffrey was saying that. Look, when it happened just a few days before Emancipation Day. So this is very critical. Some set of virus. Dudley needs some information. Are we truly emancipated? That's the major
Are
question.
emancipated?
but okay, let me answer it this way. A prime example. I hope Dudley can hear me. A prime example to figure out if we're truly emancipated. Don't you
Yeah.
see the prime example? Corporal James, the chairman of the Police Federation. The government of Jamaica decide that if he wants to leave Jamaica, he has to go through the Governor General of Jamaica. Yes, he can, yes, he can leave. And yet, we're celebrating Emancipation Day in this country.
Wow. Wow.
You see that there is something
What
in the
I'm trying to understand
Go ahead, Dudley.
Go ahead, Dudley.
with Corporal, yeah, Corporal James made some utterance at a funeral, and he he was accused of talking out of terms against his police hierarchy. But my question is, what Corporal James is saying at the funeral, was it a police force matter or is it a political matter?
No, it was a
Or
police force
they just
matter.
saying that they want to muzzle this man, they want to muzzle him totally
Hold on there for me,
because
Dudley.
he's speaking up for the rights of the rank of officers who are being.
Dudley, hold
Yes.
on.
Yes. Let's hear what Jeffrey have to say here, Dudley.
He was not speaking out of context. He was
Yes.
not speaking about anything to do with the Labour Party or the People's National Party or the Prime Minister or the Governor General, whoever. He was speaking about a court decision was handed down either by the Supreme Court of Jamaica or the courts of Jamaica. Any one of them is the same thing. The court handed down that the government of Jamaica must pay the overtime money and other money that is owed to the police officers of Jamaica. So he went to the funeral and he said, if it is not being paid, then God help those who are in charge.
So here you go, Jeffrey. I have a thought-provoking question from what you've just said.
Yes.
Is it that
I remember
there
that.
were more? It,
Why are we having an echoing going on here? Yeah, don't you have on something there?
all right. Okay, let's see if we can deal with this here.
We're coming to you. We're on the program here, Make We Talk, talking about Emancipation Day.
Okay.
I turn on my volume.
Okay,
Okay,
thank
go
you,
ahead.
Dudley. The thought-provoking question here, Jeffrey. I don't want you to laugh about it first. I want you to think about it. You look at you, start laughing.
No, go ahead.
Is it that they are upset with the expression of the statement or the theme of the statement? Is it the way how he expressed himself or the particular theme of what he spoke about?
I think what happened, I think the police, both the Commissioner of Police and the Minister of National Security, realized that Corporal James is a non-nonsense person, an outspoken person. He come on my program already. He went on many other programs, and because he's speaking the truth of what is going on in the JCF, and we Jamaicans must ask ourselves the question: if the man who is in charge of the security of our country cannot stem the crime problem in his own constituency, how can he stem it nationally?
Wow.
How can Minister Harris Strong curb the crime in his own? Can I curb the crime in his own constituency? How is going to curb the crime in Jamaica? So
I
because Corporal James is the type of person who will go, and a matter of fact, the Minister of National Security Commission of Police was at a function one day when Corporal James gave to them.
oh my. I
So
didn't
they have not been in their craw. So what they did is before Emancipation Day, the government of Jamaica decided to put on the shackles of slavery
My.
on Corporal James and have the audacity to be giving the Jamaican people about now happy emancipation, the emancipation message. And they should be ashamed of themselves.
I am not privy to say what was the response of the Minister of National Security. I don't know if you read any article or have heard what he said as it relates to the issue. Was there anything said from his um
I don't remember seeing anything. All I know, I've seen the letter that was sent sent out to Corporal James. That's all I know. Dudley?
Dudley?
Yes, I'm here.
Have you heard of any response from the Minister of National Security as it relates to the situation with Corporal James?
No, no, I haven't heard anything from that, but haven't heard it. I didn't heard it at all, but it just coming to me as something like, I mean, and this day then, like even worse,
Oh my.
because we are celebrating a quote unquote or a so-called emancipation from certain atrocities. But what is taking place now is a big atrocity on Corporal James.
But Dudley,
This man freedom have been curtailed, and the two police officers who actually murdered, I think, a young lady or some and raped some lady. You do hear anything about those persons? But this corporal now who is defending the rights and calling for the people to be paid.
Of his
They've been
colleagues.
muzzled by the authorities. It was so appalling.
but Dudley, you touched something a while ago about the atrocities that happened. The Jamaican people must ask the question today.
No, you're in Jeffrey through the phone.
He didn't hear you. So you have to speak again, Jeffrey.
I'm saying
I'm not hearing Jeffrey through the phone.
the question must be, not hearing me at all. Dudley, you hear me now? I don't know what's going on. Dudley,
I'm through the laptop, but not on the laptop, but not on the phone.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, okay. Can you just speak through your laptop, to your phone?
Listen to your laptop then.
Yeah.
The question I'm asking though, the atrocity of the burning down of the Eventide home.
Yeah, man, sure.
The atrocity of the
we're hearing
incursion.
Mm-hmm.
The atrocity of so many things in our country. Have the government of Jamaica apologized to the people of Jamaica for the killing of the Rastafarians in Coral Gardens?
Coral Gardens. Mm-hmm.
Those are the things we must ask these leaders who are talking about emancipation.
Yeah, they did for that one.
Those are the questions we must ask them. And for you now, in 21st century Jamaica, to put a shackle on a Jamaican citizen, it's a shame and disgrace to this country. And you all talking about Emancipation Day message? How dare you all to speak about Emancipation message to address the Jamaican people when you all have a Jamaican in shackles right now, a Jamaican who speak out for the fundamental rights of the people of this country and for the people he works with. And you're talking about emancipation from where? We're still under shackles with the People's National Party and the Andrew Holness government.
We are having another caller trying to get involved in the Mecri talk thing here, Sir Jeffrey.
Let the call, man.
And let me see. Hello, caller, you're live. This is Roots 96.1 FM and the Mecri talk with Jeffrey Tavares live. This look like the Prince of Afternoon Radio, DJ String. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, buenos días, ¿cómo está?
Yes.
Yes.
Buenos
días, my friend.
Sí, señor.
Hablo español.
A poquito. DJ String, what are you doing?
Whoa, the doctor.
Yes. Yes, sir. You want to tap in on our conversation because this is Emancipation Day. It should be Emancipation Day. And we are told that it is like
No.
an an enactment that should provide freedom for one and freedom for all and freedom of speech, freedom of
Don't forget freedom of movement.
movements, freedom of movements, and freedom of church or whatever religious belief you want to accept. All of these freedoms are part of the freedom that has been granted unto us. But here it is today. We are battling as a nation, and I think it has gone international that one of our citizens has seems to have lost or have radically been devastatingly robbed or his freedom has been taken away from him. We're talking about Corporal James so far. So that's the story that we are leveling on Make We Talk, and it's going live. So I want to find out from you, what is your take on the whole situation? DJ String, live here
No,
on Make We Talk.
no. Let me tell you this, Dwight, Mr. Irwin,
Yes.
my brother. In terms of what's happening right now with that Mr. What's his name?
Corporal James.
Because really, I have not heard the full story based on my busy schedule in and out of the store. And right now, you know what I'm doing now, Dwight?
Tell me.
I'm cleaning up the back of my business place. So I just call you to tell you what's happening with me in terms of the work that I'm carrying out on this particular day.
Oh, so you're not getting enough freedom for rest.
I'm just giving it two hours because you have to emancipate yourself from dirtiness.
Okay. Well,
So you gotta keep it clean. Based on the story, what you just referred to me, I have no take on it based on the fact that
oh, you don't
I have no
don't
idea in
have any
terms.
idea of
Right.
okay. That is very fair on your
Yeah.
part. But as you say, we were
Eh, eh,
actually we actually had Dudley Thompson on earlier on,
that-
and we will get back to Dudley
eh,
Thompson shortly because he has some input as it relates to the issue
yeah,
that our
yeah,
host Jeffrey Tavares is talking about. And this is Make We Talk. This is how we talk on Make We Talk about the truth,
yeah.
the
And
reality.
nothing but the truth.
Yes.
And
No, we're not
and the
V nor
truth will
Va.
always be the truth.
Yes.
Yes.
And so
Mm.
we want to tell you thanks, DJ String, and we want you to
Yes,
also
sir.
go ahead and continue to clean up your business place, because if your business place is not
Yes.
clean up, it
I got
won't attract um your
right.
customers.
So I you know go with Ministry of Health. So you gotta keep it clean.
Good. Thank you so much. That's
Yeah.
DJ String tapping in on the
All
Make We
right, sir.
Talk Live. We are
Yes,
going
sir.
to just rush for a short little break, Sir Jeffrey, and then when we come back, much more right here on the Make We Talk Live with Jeffrey Tavares.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, We're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk, people.
Join us this and every Wednesday morning for Extraordinary Abilities on Roots 96.1 FM. Join us for news, views, and interviews with
Laborites
extraordinary.
catch up in Parliament. Warmington cuts out Bartlett.
In the process of so doing, I think that what we want to do is to enable everyone to feel that whatever comes out of this committee is going to be fair and just, and that it will inure to the highest level of protection of the rights of everyone.
What you said, there should be an assumption or destructive to a person.
Welcome back to the 9 o'clock program here on Roots 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tavares, with my colleague in the studios there at Roots FM at One Maho Drive is Dwight Irvin.
That's right. That's right. Right here
We're,
with you. still.
we're speaking about Emancipation Day, and we're speaking about our Jamaican citizens, and in particular one person, Corporal Rowan James. Is he truly emancipated from the shackles that is going on, the shackles that we're under? That is the question this morning or this afternoon. Is Corporal Rowan James, the chairman of the Police Federation, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Minister of National Security, and Mr. Commissioner of Police, is Corporal Rowan James emancipated from the shackles?
We still
And
have
you have,
Dudley Thompson
go
with
ahead.
us. We still have Dudley Thompson with us, and so I want us to let you be aware of that, Sir Jeffrey.
Dudley, are you hearing us? Don't know
I
what's
am
going
here.
on.
I am hearing him a little. He just need to turn up
Yes,
his.
Jeffrey.
Okay, there
Yes,
we go.
Dudley, the question I want to
Yeah,
ask you now, your views, because if you're in Jamaica now, you'll be up and down videoing Emancipation Day celebrations and so forth. Your views on the whole emancipation thing, Dudley?
Hmm. Well, honestly, I don't think Jamaica is truly emancipated. It does come like a thing on paper, but in practice, we're not truly emancipated because up until this day, we're still harboring thought. We still have this debate about republic, the queen, and should it be ceremonial? Should it be the kind of president? We're still not emancipated. As it on paper as a public holiday, but in practice, it is far from it. Just on paper. But we're still not true because even though Corporal James' situation now, it's evident that we're not truly emancipated. We still are harping about should do away with the British monarchy, should we go have our own system? Yeah, truly. If you look at how other countries got independence and do their thing, they are truly because you have countries that was once under the British colonial thing. When they got independence, they break our British customs. But we hang on to a lot of British customs, we still are truly emancipated.
Wow, wow, wow. I don't. Yeah, I don't know, Dudley. What really is happening? I heard you talking something some time ago about being a figurehead. What's the difference between this figurehead expression that you're giving us? Give us an highlight on that.
All right. Jamaica now wants, as you all know, the big talk in Jamaica now is to go republic. But what the Jamaican authorities want is to have a situation where the party in power will have more power than before. Meaning, for Jamaicans who don't know right now, The Governor General right now have the power to fire a Prime Minister. Although the GG role is mostly ceremonial, but they have that one important power. He can fire the Prime Minister and also the opposition leader. But if Jamaica was to go republic, what Jamaica want right now is to go republic with a ceremonial president, which is a fancy name for a figurehead. That's all
Okay.
it is.
Okay. I figurehead that mean he would be in a position that doesn't warrant much responsibility. Or
He ain't
he
have no power at all. Just there to cut ribbon, home parliament, next, but have no power.
but would he be paid for that?
Of course,
Yes.
he'll be paid $400 million a year.
What did you say?
The current governor general who goes around
Absolutely.
and
That's what
open
Jamaica stand
places.
for, what I am against. It don't
The
make
current
no sense to replace a GG who have limited power to a case where someone have absolutely no power at all. It don't make any sense. It don't make any sense to me.
Wow.
But Dudley, the question that we need to ask, well, not the question, but what we need to say, the current governor general.
It also mean one thing: to give PNP and GLP more power.
Dudley, you're not hearing us.
Who's the executive who run the country?
Are you all hearing me?
I am hearing you.
Yes, what I'm saying is this, that the current GG is
Yes, I'm hearing you.
the current GG to upkeep King's House is 442, I think, or $424 million a year to upkeep the Governor General's King's House. Him don't live there. It's only the dead GG them who did and gone still living there.
Million.
You see? And now we're talking about emancipation. The question we must ask ourselves, how much money is the Ministry of Culture is spending on this Emancipation Day? How much money are they gonna spend on the 61st anniversary of Jamaica's independence? That is the question we must ask ourselves. They're spending money and like going out of style. In our country
Remember, you know.
is in hold on there, Dudley. Hold on there, Dudley.
Celebration extend beyond Jamaica, you know.
Hold on there, Dudley. When our country is in $2 trillion of debt, that is what we need to question today. You have a shackle on a Jamaican citizen, Corporal James, and we're spending money left, right, and center to celebrate Emancipation Day. And we're going to spend money left, right, and center to celebrate independence. When our people, how many Jamaicans going to their bed hungry? And how many Jamaicans right now is still under the shackles? The only Corporal James have come to light.
Jeffrey.
How many other Jamaicans is under the shackles of emancipation? Are we truly emancipated?
Jeffrey, Dudley wanted to respond.
Go ahead, Dudley. I'm not hearing Dudley at all, you know.
Jeffrey, look at this. Look at this. The whole idea of this entire thing is a part of a package. They want to put the country in a feel good mode heading into an election. Look at it now. The emancipation celebration will be taking place both Jamaica and overseas. The reggae girls is now doing well in the World Cup. The netball team have a chance to win the World Netball Championships.
The volleyball
The
team.
reggae boys will start to qualify, and then now the country will go in a feel good mood, and then they call the election. It's a part of a grand plan.
In other words, Dudley, the people must say, call it, Andrew, call it.
It's a plan.
Oh, I am hearing.
Shower labor right.
Huh?
Shower labor right. Call it, Andrew.
I hear in Jeffrey, Jeffrey,
Em-
Jeffrey. I
em-
hear in.
Remember last time? You remember how Andrew win the last election? You remember how he win the last election?
How was it? How it happened?
He give out this massive bushout program, the massive bushout program. The whole country had the bush for about 40 a month. And the payday was on the Friday, and the election day was the Monday.
You guys are something else. So they get a double. It's a double pay. It's a double pay that went out.
Everybody feel good, they get paid. Go vote for Andrew Wallace.
You guys are something else.
Jamaica, I love my country.
Wow.
Is that good?
But is there hope? Is there hope?
To put the country in a feel good mood. Him can't election when anybody are curse him. And come to in a feel good mood.
But to all of this, Dudley, and you're correct. You are correct.
It's a part of our grand plan.
It's a part of a grand plan, I agree. But to say all of this and to do all of this, do you think the Jamaican people are truly listening to these politicians nowadays?
They probably have lost trust.
No, not to the entirety. Me tell you. May I know that the die-hearted thing don't work again. No, the die-hard,
yes,
they vote on what they can get. So again, if you can send a bus load up to a constituency, and the bus full of liquor and the Ganzi full of $500 bill, they will vote.
No, Dudley, it's not $5 bill anymore, Dudley.
About that hard. It's about what they can get. What they can get. Man got on a political platform, what him can get. A free Ganzi with the money of the Ganzi and some liquor and some food.
But Dudley, that is to show you that our people are not truly emancipated.
No, look at this. Where can you find a government win an election by a landslide and the turnout was 33%?
That's a very good question.
Wow.
That's a very good question.
If
you're just joining us, we're really watching.
And they know, and people have been paid not to vote.
If you're just joining us, we're listening and watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. This is the Mecca Talk program on Roof 96.1 FM. We're speaking about Emancipation Day. Are we truly emancipated from the mental slavery that we have ourselves in, and what is going on in our country with politicians? Are we truly emancipated from them? Online we have with us former senior journalist of Roots FM, Dudley Thompson. In studio we have our good friend and colleague Dwight Irvin. The question that we have on today: where do we see ourselves come next Emancipation Day? Dwight?
Say that again.
Where do we see ourselves come next Emancipation Day?
You know,
the same shackles?
You know, you always have the interrogative questions, Jeffrey, and that question is almost self-explanatory because it has been over how many years now since we have been mentioning that we are emancipated. And we are seeing some of the very same thing that we would have thought that we were emancipated from still continuing its process, and some even getting worse. So I did say earlier on that the shackles would have seemingly be pulled off from the hands and the feet, but it is now a mental shackle, or that unseen shackle that would have enchained the minds and the brains of people. So we are not thinking on our own. We don't have the freedom. As a matter of fact, if you look at the situation that we're talking about, the freedom of expression would have been delve a terrible blow because somebody thought that he have the freedom to express himself, but ultimately that freedom come under scrutiny and he seemingly may have to pay dearly for it. Is it really and truly a change for the better? We're saying that you are emancipated for real, or is it that it is a ploy statement that you are emancipated and you are not really emancipated according to the meaning of the word emancipated? So,
But
so
you know,
Brenda,
Dudley,
Brenda, as I said earlier, they said they put it on perfectly. They take away the shackle and chain, but they control the brain. Say, yeah, perfect, perfect,
mm,
perfectly.
the question still lingers in the mind of many Jamaicans.
All right, and Jeffrey and Dwight, I got to run now. So nice to talking to you both, and we'll do this all over again. So after run.
all right, please walk.
Thank you.
I think it's better you walk, Dudley. Because
Yeah, because they can't run at all in the Dudley. Your days of running over.
yeah. The KC kind of running that you have, and that was a lot of years ago, is not with you. So please walk.
All right, I'll try to walk slow.
All right.
Yes. That was Dudley Thompson, former senior journalist of Root 96.1 FM on the Mecca Talk program. We have a couple more minutes leave here on the Mecca Talk program here on Root 96.1 FM. The question we're asking today, are we truly emancipated, or are we still under the shackles of mental slavery? It is quite obvious we're still under the shackles based on what they're doing to one of our own Jamaicans, Corporal James. That is what we're speaking about today. And part 2 is coming up, because we're going to speak about it on the other side. They cannot continue like this in a country. In a country where we're well renowned of land and wood and water. We're celebrating 61 years of independence. And we're celebrating emancipation. The majority of Jamaicans don't have running water in their pipes. And yet our political leaders will come out every year to give Emancipation Day message and Independence Day message. And the same bangarang they keep on saying over and over again. While many Jamaicans are languishing in jail cells across the length and breadth of Jamaica. Many of them are in there without any charge brought against them. And you think that the powers may be will try and investigate what is going on in our prisons around our country. The question must be asked also, is there any Jamaicans languishing in prisons around the world that we don't know about? Because we have a foreign affairs ministry who I think have given the Jamaican people a prime example of how they treat Jamaicans overseas. When it comes on to the students who are in Ukraine, we see how they treat them. And I beg to ask the question, how many Jamaican citizens around the globe who are in prison unjustly? Because we have Jamaicans in prison in Jamaica who are in there unjustly, was not been charged at all. And yet we have the audacity to be speaking about emancipation and celebrating emancipation and celebrating independence. Huh?
Well, Jeffrey, I would love to say this before we come to the end of the program,
Yes.
because Make We Talk is not just talk, we are substance. And I know of a fact that when someone come up with a topic and talk strongly or passionately about it, one of the better things to do is to at least have a semblance of solution or some cure for the malady or the disease that we
Right.
are we are talking about. And so, from a Mequitalk standpoint, even with the situation as it relates to Corporal Rohan James, we believe that good sense should prevail, and many persons right now are not necessarily in agreement for the blatant outrage and devastating blow that has reached this young man and by extension his family, because it's a tarnish not just for him but also for his family and the way forward for his his job, and many things. And so, talking about solutions, I believe it will do good if the powers that be would come together, revisit the situation from a humanitarian point of view, look at um, our emancipation um, slogan and belief, and come up with a very very lucrative and good kind of decision that will not affect this young man so devastatingly. There should be a means for forgiveness, and if it's even to reduce some of these restrictions and so forth, if it is to I think they say that it could work out in three ways where he could have lose his position as corporal, reduced in rank. He could also lose his job, and I don't know if there could also be any other thing where any legal thing would get him locked up or anything like that. But I am asking if there is going to be anything of devastation, since we are in the emancipation atmosphere. Let freedom prevail. You
Yeah.
understand? Yes. And so that's my say before we even take our leave from here.
You know, you made very good points a while ago, my good friend. Right, Herbert. You gave good points. And when you sit down and listen to what, because not because I consider the good gentleman a friend of mine, Corporal Ron James, but I sit and I listen to him. And at no time at all, in none of his utterance before and now, have he ever disrespected the hierarchy of the JCF or the hierarchy of the Jamaican government. He has never done it. There is more to this. There is more to this. And all I'm going to say in my closing remark, Corporal Rowan James, as we celebrate Emancipation Day today, is under the shackles of the Wholeness Administration, along with the Minister of National Security and the Commissioner of Police, has put on this young man. Until you hear my voice again, may God bless you, and may God bless Jamaica land we love. Let us continue to fight the good fight, because our people is still under the bands of shackles. Have a good day, my friend.
Life just seems so
All right, Jeffrey Tavares for you on